We have José Ramón Rodríguez from the research group with the lecture, the system of geographical information of the Land Bank of El Bierzo. This is an application of gvSIG to the dynamization of the economic activity in rural areas. ¿A las 5:30? ¿Te parece bien?
¿Pero
sí.
¿Te viene bien a ti?
Sí.
Pues entonces déjame que haga yo 15 minutos
vale.
Y entonces
vale.
Así luego yo sigo ya hasta que acabe. Hello, good afternoon. Thank you. I'm going to start my presentation with an example about what we can do with Geographic Information Systems and gvSIG to encourage other people to put forward their proposals. This all started as an idea in our group when we heard about the Bierzo Land Bank project. We're now trying to convince others to continue what we started, because in our opinion it can be very helpful to manage the Banco de Tierras del Bierzo, the Bierzo Soil Bank. And I will explain what a soil bank is, or a land bank is. For those who run this soil bank is something which can be very useful. So I encourage you to do projects with GIS and more particularly with gvSIG. These are the contents of my talk, 5 chapters. First of all, I will explain what the soil bank is. I will describe the first conditions of our project. I will talk about the sources, and I will describe the work done so far, and I will finish with some conclusions. Right. The soil bank of El Bierzo is an entity which liaises, which mediates between potential buyers and the owners of rural land in El Bierzo County in León, on the border with Galicia. How did this idea emerge? Well, it was an initiative of the County Council of El Bierzo, because 70% of the land with farming potential or forestry or cattle breeding potential is currently without production, without being exploited. As you know, the main activity in this region, in El Bierzo, so till recently, or till, was mining. But you know that mining is no longer a business there. So what can we do, the inhabitants of El Bierzo? Well, we thought it a great idea, suggested by the county board, the county council. The goal is to try and encourage the use of this land for other uses, for wood, for forestry. So if there is anyone or a company interested in doing this type of business activity, then they can buy this land. This is the website of Banco de Tierras, the land bank. If you want to have further information. www.bancodetierrasdelbierzo.com. It's been operating since last year, 2013. Last year in February it was started, or it was started. And now there are already a few entrepreneurial projects. A few entrepreneurs have started a little business in the area of horticulture. In El Bierzo, there are 6 appellations contrôlées, or designations of origin, in the area of farming and cattle breeding. That's why these initiatives are focused on agriculture. In fact, there is a brand, designation of origin for red peppers from El Bierzo. And a winery has recently been opened, because there is also a designation of origin, an appellation contrôlée, for some Bierzo wines. And there is a farm already working in Ponferrada to encourage people to do organic farming. A lot of people are interested in renting a little piece of land to grow their own organic vegetables. And there are other initiatives such as snail breeding. In fact, there is a little business which focuses on that, on breeding snails, and another little business on honey production, which is very interesting in today's context, and the willingness of people to have natural produce such as honey. So we believe the Land Bank had something to do. It's starting to prove effective. The initiative is proving right. Let me give you a few figures. At present, there are land plots or lots included in the inventory of the Land Bank with 1,212 lots. They are not very large. They amount to 237 hectares. And there are now 62 tenants. It doesn't sound many, but if you take into account the time this project has been implemented, it's not bad. 62 tenants and 152 pieces of land have been rented in these municipalities, which you can see here. And the main activity developed on this land is honey, and also agricultural initiatives, mainly for pear growing and pear production. Pear tree growing and pear production. And in Ponferrada, basically, because Ponferrada is the town with the largest area in El Bierzo, and also in Folgoso de la Ribera, where the uses here are more forestry oriented, more cattle breeding oriented. When we suggested we could put in place a geographic information system, a number of conditions were set. The first condition was to use open source software, and that was our own condition. The technicians already have databases. They gain access to it on the internet. And well, in actual fact, the database is being administered by a company. But with that database, our technicians display information on the website using Google. So they asked why they needed a GIS if they already had a map with lots. So another condition was for updates and upgrades to be simple. And we were asked to test the system, particularly with regard inquiries by attribute, by location. And when technicians go to do their field work, to take coordinates, these technicians wanted to know where these pieces of land were located. So another requirement was the possibility of creating maps, both for the owners and for the tenants. To create the whole project and the GIS, we used different sources. Of course, we had to use the database of the Banco de Tierras del Bierzo, and we also used information from the cadastre. This information on farming land, agricultural land, is now free. Anyone can download it from our website. You just need to identify yourself, to say who you are. And another source had to do with urban data. So we used data from the urban plan of Castilla León. These are databases. Castilla León has a service, a WMS service, which doesn't work all that well, by the way. And we also used other sources, basically from the National Geographic Information Center and from the Technological Institute for Agricultural Development in Castile, which has some geo-referenced data. So we use their information too.
So I will continue my presentation by explaining what we have been doing up to now. The code is really basic, but we want to let the people know, the people managing the Land Bank of El Bierzo, or the Soil Bank of the El Bierzo, the advantages of this project. There are three views in the project. One of them, which is the parcel, the plot view, is conceived for the daily work of the technicians. So they have all the plots updated and the layers that they are using for the daily management. Roads, urban places, towns or villages. And there is another view which is conceived for them to do the regular updating of this. The usefulness is only that, so that they can update this regularly. And then we gave them a simple protocol. There is another layer so that they can check the urban development information, and then we have the WMS link with the information CYL of Castilla León, and orthophoto, and sometimes they have to use it, so that's why we have created this link. And this is the view in order to be able to update these plots of the whole Bierzo comarca. It was generated in the cadastre, and we were linking the different layers. And we were using the different plans of fields, and the area we can see here covers this whole comarca of El Bierzo. Here we can see the information loaded, the plots, and what we did was selecting one of the plots in which we see the information associated to this. And basically it's the cadastre information together with other types of information, which is interesting for the land. There is a code of the owner, the place where it is, the area name, and the potential use of that plot. And some other data which may be interesting, and we had the WMS of the cadastre, because this is a link that they may need sometimes when they have numbers of plots which do not belong to this system. In the ortho photo is not visible, the cadastre information. This is the view of the information system. And in the northeast and northwest, here we have the information of two urban urban populations. I will tell about some layers in the database. Here we have different folders, and these are the layers linked to the updating of the database of the plots, which are the cadastre plots, and one of them, in addition to the information which is kept in addition to the municipal surface, we have other names which can be important to locate them, and these are the plot sets of the Land Bank, and here this number is the date in which that was updated. The plot we are referring to the plot files. After I'll mention that one of the interesting things of implementing this is to detect mistakes that were in the database. They thought their database was perfect, and they could detect some errors in this. And here we have the different layers where we have the information, the urbanistic information of El Bierzo, with the WMS connection, and with this layer which is called a CAT land or soil, which is a layer generated, and after I'll tell you how this works. And this is a list of roads. This information basically comes from the BT 25, and then we have information about the communication paths, the Santiago path, the hydrology, and this is an image of this information. A utility that they could achieve was identifying many errors that were in the databases for the update of this. then they choose the table which is generated with the database, and we have the cadastre reference together with the different types of information, and then that also allows consulting urban information without any connection with WMS. So then they have the layer with updated information, because they saw that in many cases there was no matching with the list of the cadastre, and they could identify dozens of plots that had wrong data in their registers, in their records. As mentioned before, the WMS connection, in order to get the urban information, is not working very well. So then we're creating a layer with vectorial information, creating images based on WMS. Those images were stored, and after those images they were vectorizing them, and they had to convert the coordinates system, which is in code EPSG 25829, while the information is in 25830. So then in this way we can have the urban information loaded in their computers, despite that the WMS link is not working very well. Now we are providing assistance in the location of plots for productive activities. They are working now in apiculture in order to have an apiculture exploitations. You have to fulfill several regulations, many of which are based on the distance to populations, the distance to urban settlements, and to water courses, and many other things. And the conclusions are that this system of geographical information is based on gvSIG, open software, and this is a project that allows the updating of the database in a simple way, which is compatible with the management of the database, alphanumeric database, in the Land Bank of Bierzo. We would also like to do a more robust database than the one we have at present. And with this I have finished my presentation. Thank you very much.
Que dice Luis que ha montado allí el otro equipo.